I'm going to make a full-on video about the Santa Clara County Children's Shelter. Excuse my face, I've been picking. I'm here in California, so I'm a nervous goddamn wreck. I can't get a second to take a breath without some kind of, well, the retardation in my face. So let me just start here. It was late 1999. October, I want to say the 18th, when I wasn't home. It was a Sunday, and my then husband, Adam Carl Heft, he said he spanked my son. The neighbors who I had just complained about called the police. The neighbor was the maintenance man who called on me. His teenage daughter, who was in high school, was throwing parties during the day. And I told on them like that within a couple of days or that day. And so that they called the Child Protective Services, or the police proper, was a retaliatory measure, which is how most of these things go, whether it's a 5150 hold or Child Protective Services. They're used in divorces. They're used in this way by, pissed off neighbors or people in general. So the police came. They did not charge my husband, my then husband, and who I had married when my son was a year old. My son was 12 at this time. They took my son to the children's shelter. Next thing I know, they're telling me that I will never get my son back. I had written a letter that I was prepared to read at that first hearing, which was 3 days later, telling them clearly, you have no reason to keep my son if you do not give him back in this 3-day period. And it was a constitutionally based letter that they had no right to do it. And I was point blank told by this woman attorney that I would never get my son back again, and I didn't. Fast forward, I was looking at the San Jose Mercury News, and the headline read, "Child Prostitution Ring Being Run Out of the Children's Shelter," written by the then head of the editorial board, Miss Patty Fisher. I met with her in her Palo Alto office. Fast forward to 2005, my son is in juvenile hall. They had charged him. He ran away from the children's shelter. Imagine that. Several times. And during that point, he had been caught shoplifting shoes. So they never charged him while they were in county custody, but they had given him back to me for a very short period of time and then charged him with these. Took him to the juvenile hall. It was like several counts. Again, while he was in county custody. They gave him 4.5 years. And I never got him back. I watched him go from LA, Apple Valley, LA, to Wyoming, to Sacramento. God knows what they did to him. I'm going to leave it at, no. So by 2005, I had it. I was leaving juvenile hall because they'd bounce him back to juvie. It was like a road trip of child prostitution, rape, torture. By 2005, I was leaving the juvenile hall just a mess, in tears, and started talking to other parents and started a group called Civil Rights for Children. We brought in the Department of Justice and the FBI. 7 were fired. 6 or 7 were ultimately fired at juvenile hall over this. Now, you can see one of these. His name is Benjamin Fuentes. Oh, God, I'm going to vomit. His case made it all the way to the Supreme Court. Mind you, no attorney will take a case for me. There has been no justice for me. But his went to the Supreme Court. Look it up under Benjamin Fuentes versus Santa Clara County Juvenile Hall. He was not denying the fact that he did what he was charged with, but procedurally that he wasn't given enough notice of being fired. So, fast forward. By 2015, I had just filed federal lawsuit papers over this. I had been arrested, beaten, robbed, time and time again. Right now, I'm on my 3rd DUI. No evidence. I did not do it. These are retaliatory measures. Mark my words. There's somebody at my table. Jesus Christ, I can't walk away for a half a fucking second. some third world cunt is stealing my goddamn stuff. Fuck. That said, within days of filing those papers, I'm on the street. By this time, I'm wearing a GoPro strapped to my front, and I got the whole thing. They had me in handcuffs. They lifted my nails from their nail bed with my pocket knife, then told me to have a nice day. Please watch it at Santa Clara Police Chinese Torture Me. And yes, I am in torturous pain every second of every day subsequently. I'm going to end this right now before I hyperventilate and pass out. Refugee citizen heft out. Deanna Ray Porter reporting. This is my life, and this is my motherfucking story.